There are moments in history when one sloppy move, a wrong choice, or a tiny whatever accident ended up unlocking wild discoveries and changed how we understand the world. From the king of antibiotics to rays that let us see bones, all the way to a gadget that got weak hearts beating in rhythm again. In this episode, we're diving into 10 mistakes that turned into major breakthroughs. Ready? Let's roll. A dirty petri dish that saved millions of lives. It started with plain chaos. A researcher came back from a short trip and found mold growing on one of his bacteria plates. Any student would go, "Welp, ruined, toss it." But before binning it, he noticed something odd. Around the mold, there was a clear halo. No bacteria were growing there. Test after test showed that mold, a penicillium species, was making a substance that stopped disease-causing bacteria. They named it penicillin, and a few years later, thanks to other teams, it became a mass-produced medicine. Before antibiotics, small infected cuts, pneumonia, or even strep throat could take you out. With penicillin in the 1940s, deaths from bacterial infections plunged, in war and in daily life. It wasn't the first antibacterial ever, but it was the first big modern wave that flipped medicine. 2. Pigeons that led to hearing the universe's microwave afterglow. Two radio engineers had a giant horn antenna for satellite comms, and a weird problem. No matter what they tried, there was this stubborn noise they couldn't remove. They chased every suspect: amps, cables, humidity, even room temperature. Finally, against their own expectations, they found two squatters, pigeons nesting in the horn, and a layer of white dielectric material. Translation: dried droppings. They cleaned everything and moved the birds, but the noise stayed. Plot twist: that noise wasn't noise. It was the universe's steady echo, an approximately 2.7 Kelvin glow coming from every direction, the leftover radiation from the very early cosmos. Today, we call it the cosmic microwave background, a key clue that the universe began hot and dense. It's so uniform that you hear the same signal wherever you point the antenna. Big takeaway? On huge scales, the sky looks smooth. And yes, gunk on the antenna became part of the road to the biggest signal ever found. 3. A lamp that lit through cardboard. Hello, X-rays. A physicist was playing with electron tubes and covered one with cardboard so no visible light leaked. In a dark room, a fluorescent screen meters away suddenly glowed. Something other than light was shooting out, passing through the cardboard and air to hit the screen. Quick tests showed these rays go through flesh, but not bone or metal. So, the first photo of a human hand appeared, bones and ring fully visible. He called them X, unknown, rays, and radiography was born. Within weeks, labs across Europe and the US were taking X-ray images. Shoe stores even used X-ray shoe fit machines, a practice later scrapped for radiation safety reasons. 4. A half-finished cloudy day experiment that discovered itself. A researcher thought certain uranium salts, when sunlight hit them, would emit rays that blacken a photographic plate. That was the plan. On a cloudy day, he put the samples with the plate in a dark drawer to continue tomorrow. Next day, the plate was black, even without light. So the material was emitting on its own? That's how radioactivity was discovered. Some substances spontaneously emit radiation, no light or heat needed. It transformed medicine and energy, and opened the door to understanding the atomic nucleus. And it all began with a wrong prediction in a simple lab test. 5. A melted chocolate bar that rewired an industry. A radar tech stood near a magnetron and noticed the chocolate in his pocket had melted. Curious, he tried popcorn. Kernels exploded into fluffy pops. Then an egg, steam pressure made it burst. Light bulb moment. If microwaves jiggle polar molecules like water and make heat, why not cook with them? First industrial units were built, then, gradually, kitchen models. The common 2.45 gigahertz setting isn't some magic water resonance. It's a practical balance between depth and efficiency. Early machines weighed hundreds of kilos and used water cooling, but they're the ancestors of your microwave. 6. One wrong resistor and thousands of hearts found a beat. In 1956, an engineer was building a heart signal recorder. He was supposed to use a 10 kiloohm resistor, but accidentally popped in a 1 megaohm. The circuit's output turned into a steady pulse, like a heartbeat. That tiny slip lit a big idea. If we can make safe, portable pulses with the right size and rhythm, we could pace hearts that beat too slowly or irregularly. Enter implantable pacemakers, with batteries that last for years. Early patients outlived expectations by decades, swapping devices for newer models along the way. A simple circuit error ended up saving millions. 7. The empty gas cylinder that wasn't empty at all. A chemist hunting a new refrigerator gas opened a cylinder. Nothing came out. Must be empty, right? Except the cylinder still felt heavy. On the scale, the weight hadn't dropped as much as it should have. They cut it open and found a slick white powder, a polymer the gas had formed inside on its own. That polymer, PTFE, later took the brand name Teflon. It has one of the lowest friction coefficients among solids and is wildly chemically inert. That toughness proved perfect for handling nasty, corrosive gases, like in uranium gas systems. Later, non-stick cookware made it a household name. 8. A flask that broke, but didn't shatter. A glass flask that once held a nitrocellulose solution slipped, fell, and cracked. But the fragments stuck together instead of spraying everywhere. A thin polymer film left on the inside wall kept the glass from exploding into bits. That idea led to laminated safety glass. Hit it and it cracks, but holds together. Integrity stays, pieces don't fly. Think safety windshield. You see it today in car windshields and protective vitrines. Truth is, the flask hadn't been fully cleaned. Residue from the old solution remained. That not cleaning turned into the clue behind a global safety standard. 9. Unwashed hands and a taste sweeter than sugar. After working with coal tar derivatives, a chemist skipped a proper hand wash and went to eat. Suddenly, everything he touched tasted sweet. Back in the lab, he traced it to one compound, left on his skin, hundreds of times sweeter than sugar, 0 calories. He called it saccharin. It's about 300 times sweeter than sucrose. That find put artificial sweeteners on the table, literally, and into special diets and the food industry. A lapse in lab hygiene turned the tongue into a detector and changed nutrition. 10. A drug meant to calm the heart boosted something else instead. A pharma team was testing a compound to help heart vessels and reduce chest pain. Trials didn't show big wins for angina, but one side effect stood out. It markedly increased blood flow to certain tissues and improved a function many people care about. They pivoted, and the drug was approved for that second use, and later for pulmonary hypertension. That drug family reshaped treatment of a huge social medical issue. It also pulled nitric oxide signaling pathways into mainstream medicine. Translation: the first goal flopped, but paying attention to an unexpected signal opened a better path. The moral of the list? Mistakes aren't always bad. Sometimes they're the necessary nudge that sends us in brand new directions no one planned. The gap between "it's ruined, toss it" and "wait, why did this happen?" That exact gap is where discovery lives. None of these started with perfect planning, but all of them continued with disciplined curiosity. Subtle point: a mistake alone doesn't make a discovery. Mistake plus careful observation plus solid notes plus open mind equals breakthroughs. So next time something weird happens, chase the why. You might be the next big discoverer. If this episode hit the spot, drop a like to help it travel. And to keep the series going, subscribe and tap the bell. If your science-curious friends would enjoy this, share it with them. What should we cover next? Tell us in the comments.